I'm Manoj Agrawal. We have today with us a very special guest. It's Samit Ghosh. He's the founder of Ujjivan Bank. Welcome, Samit.
Thank
to
you.
Finvest.
Thank you.
So, these new banks that RBI has licensed, obviously they come to the market with some very special objectives. They're not going to be the typical universal banks. What is it that Ujjivan Bank really brings to India and to Bharat that is something special?
So, the basic mission and vision for Small Finance Bank, which was outlined by RBI, was to provide financial service to the unserved and underserved.
Right.
Okay. So basically a bank for the mass market, which public sector banks actually should have provided.
Right.
But unfortunately, because of their constraints, they could not provide. And whereas, the private sector banks have always concentrated on the middle class and affluent.
Correct.
So this mass market is sort of unserved or underserved. So the mandate for small finance bank like us is to serve that segment of customers in the mass market who are today unserved or underserved.
So the traditional approach which did not succeed was to set up thousands of bank branches,
Right.
physical presence. Nowadays banking is becoming more digital. I presume Ujjivan Bank has a digital approach.
Yes, of course. Given the transaction size is relatively small, so you have to have a fairly digital approach to the working in this segment, because otherwise you will not be viable.
Correct.
So the relationship, let's say, as a microfinance institution, which we were there, was entirely person to person. Our customer to customer.
Face to face.
Yeah. But we have to move actually from there to sort of assisted self-service, because you cannot jump into self-service right away, in the sense that our customers, if you ask them from person to straight mobile self-service, mobile banking, they will not be able to move. So you have to take them through a sort of journey, and the second step is assisted self-service. So we developed things like the handheld device, where we go to the customer, and they can transact everything using the handheld device.
So the customer does the transaction on the device?
So our staff
the
does
agent?
it. Our staff does it,
Okay.
but they take it straight to the customer and they are able to do it.
Okay.
And they can authenticate. Earlier, at least, they could authenticate with the eKYC, etc., which now is a problem because of the Aadhaar issue.
Yes.
But because most of them have DBT transfers, they can still do it. They can still use the Aadhaar infrastructure. And then once we have done that, we take them to the next step, is move them to mobile. But that process will take 3, 4, 5 years,
So what are the first 1 or 2 steps in that process?
So one of the thing is, we've introduced something called the DigiBuddy, So just like, when we are confronted with some new technology at home or at work, we ask a friend or we ask our children, because our children are more savvy with technology than we are, right?
Absolutely.
So we get them to show us how to use it, yeah? So DigiBuddy is like that, he's a buddy who will teach the customer how to use various technology application. So for instance, our customers, they all have mobiles, right? But they can't do mobile banking. But we start with, let's say, missed call banking, because they want to know what their balance is, they want to know the last 4 transactions. So the DigiBuddy will help them to store the 2 numbers of the bank where they can call, give a missed call and get the balance.
They'll get an SMS?
They'll get a SMS.
voice call?
They'll get an SMS,
Okay.
right? And both for the balance and for the last 4 transactions. So you start with that. Even people, this segment of the customer not used to ATMs. So we had actually biometric ATMs. All our ATMs are biometric. So they don't have to remember the PIN or anything. But again, that currently is, being reviewed by NPCI, given the Aadhaar issue.
Okay.
So, but then DigiBuddy actually helps them to how to use the ATM, what to do, what not to do, in very practical ways. You know?
Are these DG buddies the regular
There are
business
staff.
correspondent staff?
They are all our staff,
No, but is there a dedicated set of DG buddies,
dedicated.
or they do other things also?
So, no, in our branch, we will have one or two of them who are totally dedicated. Because when we recruit them, because a lot of the young people are today very tech savvy, right? So, before they move into some other banking job, for first 6 months, they do this, you know, so it's an initiation for them.
So what were the next 2 or 3 things that DG buddies will do?
So, like, you know, our mobile app is in 5 languages, you know,
Okay.
because we want to move the mobile application to people. It has largely been in English and in urban center, the mobile, you know, adoption. So, we want to move it to towns, to villages. So, we've now made it in 5 languages, you know, and again, I think the DigiBuddies will be, tell them how to use it. The other thing is, you know, we also, because we have a lot of illiterate and semi-literate customers, so we are trying to adopt the mobile app, which can be voice-based,
Okay.
or it could be pictorial, you know. So we are working with fintech companies to develop that kind of mobile app.
What about your initiatives in the urban and semi-urban markets?
It's different because different customer there are different needs, you know, urban customers needs different,
Yes,
semi-urban have a different need, and the rural have a different need.
exactly.
Now 25% of our branches as a small finance bank have to be in unbanked rural areas.
Okay.
So even though, you know, the brick and mortar is going out of fashion, but still it is important, you know. If you read Aditya Puri's interview yesterday, they opened 5,000 branches.
Yes, yes.
So the branch is still important, you know, because people trust something which they can see and feel. Especially if you're going into a new area which is totally unbanked,
Absolutely.
right? It's very difficult to do abstract kind of mobile banking there.
Banking is
So
tangible.
we are actually we are setting up small brick and mortar branches in these areas, and then slowly getting them to adopt to digital technology. And the kind of products we are trying to develop for them are related to their work, you know, I mean, in
Okay.
agri or agri-allied, that kind of loans and facilities for them, you know.
How many branches do you have now?
We have about 460 branches.
In another 12 months, how many will you add?
Well, we probably next financial year we'll add another 100 because we want to also, because, you know, adding branches adds to our cost, you know. So our cost has actually spiraled because after becoming the bank, we have to invest in technology, we have to build branches, we have to hire our people. We were about 7,000 people. We are today 15,000 people, you know. So our costs have spiraled, right? So next year we want to focus on growing our business so that our cost comes under control. So we'll probably open 100 branches maybe next year.
So is your business focus today getting more and more customers? Let me rephrase that. Is it onboarding more and more potential customers, potential borrowers? Or are you looking at a focused set of borrowers today?
We are looking at a full relationship, right? Okay. So if you look at in India, regular banks are focused on only an affluent and middle class.
Yes.
And then you have a destitute level, maybe 5% at the bottom. So if you add these two, it's about 30%,
Okay.
right? 25% of affluent middle class and 5% at the bottom. The microfinance customers come just above the destitute level. So as a microfinance institution, we had customers there. But there are a couple of other levels there also, you know. So small businesses, micro businesses, things like people, middle class, also the lower end, who want housing, who want personal loan. I'll give you an example. It's probably very easy for a doctor to get a loan, right?
Yes.
From any bank. But it's not so easy for a nurse, you know. So our target is the nurse. Okay, so in a school, again, school teachers or college teachers, at a level which is there in semi-urban, urban area, semi-urban, rural areas, they don't have access to a housing loan, a personal loan, and all that. So our target is actually there. So we are targeting that, but we are trying to acquire customers not only from microfinance but 2-3 levels above that also.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That is good insights. All the best to you.
Thank you.